Now the fourth one is maintain implementation issues list. What is this implementation issues list? This is of really of so much concern when we are talking about the process of organization. These implementation issues includes the issues related to training. If some team member requires some training, they are not that much skillful, then they can uh, discuss that issue, or they can document that issue with the in the initial phase only, that they need that training, they need to get skill on that particular part. Second one, what kind of tools are in the requirement. If any new tool is required to work upon, then that requirement will be mentioned. Another implementation issues can be related to the templates that the team members have to utilize for the development purpose. What kind of templates, what kind of design templates they need, and what level of resources they require. All these things comes under these implementation issues. So what happens under this part? One person is being assigned this work of doing documentation for implementation issues. That person will document everything, will note down all these issues, and so that they can be sorted out in the initial manner, in the initial phase only, and on later stages these problems should not occur. The facilitator should be sure that the team members, definition team means team members, identifies the factors that will affect implementation of the tool. So basically the facilitator is monitoring all these things, and the team must plan some ways to get non-team members involved with the process definition from the start, with the help of some monthly presentations of the team progress with their co-workers. In this way they can involve the other people in the organization. Next one, some another points you have to remember. Everyone in the department should be involved, and they should understand that if there is any change to the way of the work to be done, then why it is happening, and what changes are there. So those things should be clear within all the members who are working in the department. Then everyone should be aware about the long term and short term objectives of the organization. Another one, two things that you have to remember in this one, it is to be clear to everyone that the measurement and matrices defined for the process will never be used against an individual, but they are for the process improvement. If some person is telling to utilize some latest technology or some latest measurement techniques to identify the flaws in the process, then it is not like if someone is going against to you. It is just for the development of the process, and obviously latest techniques are required, so that kind of attitude should not be. So these are some points that you have to remember and maintain implementation issues. Utilizing these points, you can make your answer for this particular matter. Fifth phase is document global process information and diagram the process flow. So it is related to two things, two terms come up over here, global process information and the process flow diagram. So what is it? This global process information, first thing, is related to the information that is being given as an initial information in the document. Now, till now, you must have understood that documentation is very necessary part when you are going for the organization's process, and what process they are following. That everything, the tools, techniques they are utilizing, um, who are the people who are working in the organization, what roles have been assigned to them, um, what is their designation, and all these things are being documented, and the requirements for the improvement obviously, they are also being documented. Now in this document, the first part that is to be written is global process information, that you have to remember in fifth step. So this global process information, this term can come up in your objective question also. What it contains, basically it is taken from the step one, the initial process definition. When the sponsor is providing information about the process objectives, um, the long-term, short-term objectives, goals, and the scope of the process. And the one member in the from the team is doing this work to maintain that document, in which that person is listing out the issues. Also, that person has to list out this global process information. Now, what it will include, some of the points you remember, as much as possible you can remember. The content that this global process information contains, some of the things I'm telling you, like objective of the process scope, what is the scope, when the process will start, when the process will end, that will tell the scope of the process. Who are the parties involved in the process, that is to be written in that particular part of global process information. Basic description of the process is to be written. What are the tools, standards, templates are being utilized by this process? Any another relevant terms and definitions which are required, or any abbreviations are there? Or lastly, any another related documents which are required for this complete process of the organization. So all these things are to be mentioned and cited in that particular um, document. Next one is your process flow diagram, second part of this step 5. So this process flow diagram is basically a diagram which shows a complete model of your organization's process. Every step, how the organization is proceeding towards software development. Every step will be mentioned in the form of a flow diagram, that is called as a diagram the process flow. Some of the points that you have to remember under this part is the potential team members are generally 5 to 6. That I have already told you last class. That potential team members are 5 or 6 only. If you need any helping hand, then the team can go up to the strength of 8 to 10 members. If not required, then you can utilize, if potential team members are enough, then it's fine. But if there are more than 5 or 6 members, what you have, how you have to mention about them in this flow diagram, you have to um, merge 2 or 3 roles who are working on kind of similar thing, and you have to show them they are working on same kind of activity. In that way, you have to present in your flow diagram. That point you have to remember. Another point, to maintain the inspiration under your team members, among your team members, and to maintain that motivation to work in a consistent way with a consistent pace, you have to follow some strategies, like the environment in which the complete team is sitting. Make that environment very attractive, or make that environment very motivated environment, in which on the walls you can show the progress charts or any flip charts which is showing the progress of the development, by watching which the team members will remain inspired and they will get active, they will remain active to be working on that one. So this is another point you have to remember. This flow diagram you have to mention. Okay, some activity charts you are making, some progress charts you are making. Then another one, in the meetings that you are mentioning, in how many frequent meetings are happening, that to be mentioned, that in how much span of time the meeting is happening between sponsor, facilitator and the team, so that they are tracking the progress of the development. So that also to be mentioned in this flow diagram. What is the purpose of that meeting? Again, we have to check whether the progress is going on in the development of the software or not, and to check whether the roles that are being assigned to the individuals in the team, they are working on the same thing or not. So these 3 points you have to remember under this diagram, the process flow. So in this fifth step, we have discussed about these two things, global process information and flow diagram. Next one, sixth phase is your document process steps, measures and matrices. So obviously in this part we are talking about the measures, matrices which we are utilizing to check how our process is, what steps we are taking to inside that process for the development of the things, what measures we are taking, what matrices we are utilizing. So first thing you have to remember in this one, each matrices, each matrix, each measure that you are utilizing, it should be documented. And that one person who is documenting all these stuffs, that person has to be remain active with the complete team. It can also happen that module wise it can be divided among some members, that this part you document, this part another person document. So in this way also it can happen in the organization. Some of the points that you have to remember over here, the roles and responsibilities. If more than one person is involved for the one work or utilizing some one measurement technique or some matrices, then who is doing what, that is to be documented. Then what is the input to the software or the product that you are developing, what will be the output, those kind of measures to be mentioned, work instructions, tools and techniques, those things to be mentioned. And that means each and every step to be mentioned in that document. Again, same thing we are discussing. Another thing, when the matrices will get finalized, that what kind of metric approach, goals, questions, which approach the organization is following. When they have been identified, documented, they are being selected, finalized, the step descriptions are being reviewed to check whether measurement collection activities need to be in place and these activities are added at appropriate step or not. So this is also becomes a cross validation whether everything is going on in a consistent manner or not. So that is to be checked, and these matrices and measurements that depend on the project, that depend on the organization, that depend on the team members, what resources they want to utilize. So that we can't see. Okay? That depends completely on the project, what things are required. One another thing, this facilitator, this person who is leading the team, who is monitoring the team, this facilitator need to know what are those matrices and measurements theory and how to well utilize these things for the development of the process and for the process of the organization. So these are some points that you have to remember in sixth step or sixth phase, you can say, for how to define a process. Now I'm moving to next slide and we'll complete these three phases, 7th, 8th and 9th. The 7th phase is about acquire or develop forms, tools, standards, examples. What is it? So obviously again we are talking about the kind of tools to be utilized for the development, the standards to be maintained for the organization, and some of the examples that are required for training purpose or something else also to make the team members or the workers of organization to understand them, okay, what they have to do, what they are doing and how they have to improve gradually. So this process definition team, the team members, they have to check each step, what is happening and the description, and to determine if there is any need of new standards, new tool, and the checklist or any new template is required. So it relates to that one. Like it can be said that if any new template, the requirement of new template has come over, and for that designing is required, what kind of template is required. So for that purpose, to make that template available, what kind of tool is required, and whether that template is available or not, whether that tool is available or not, whether that standard things or resources are available or not. So this particular step relates to that. So you have to acquire that knowledge from your team members if anything new is required or something new is to be developed. So that one should be documented or that one should be taken care of at this stage. Next one, eighth one, formal inspection process. So this one you must have understood with the term only, that we are talking about inspection. That means we are basically checking up whether the process steps, the material, the resources, they are correct or not, and whether they are being utilized at appropriate step or not. So that is a formal inspection. So this formal inspection process, it is designed to find the defects in software deliverables. What is the meaning of deliverables? That are the word that I've used. Deliverable is nothing but the end product that will be delivered to the customer. So at this step, we have to find out the defects in the documentation throughout the organization. We can find out the defects along with the documentation in any step, in any implementation issue separately, or any resources are not there, any tool is not there. So, or the tool that is being utilized is outdated, they should utilize some latest tool, it is possible. Those kind of defects are to be identified, and they have to be processed, and facilitator is responsible to lead this inspection effort unless the organization already has an inspection process in place with trained inspection leaders. So this facilitator, if there are some inspection leaders, then it's fine. Otherwise, facilitator have to take the lead in this one, in this part also, and they have to work on it. They have to plan accordingly if some defects are coming. Last one is the very simple one, nothing to discuss about it much. Plan and execute process implementation. So at this point, the team members should have the complete list of implementation issues, a plan with a list of implementation and process management activities, estimated effort, target dates. Everything should be documented and it should be reviewed with the sponsor. And that means at this particular point, the ninth point, the plan should be approved and the team should be put into action. So if this kind of scenario is available in any organization, then you can say that the organization is level 3 organization. They are maintaining their process in a very fine manner. They are planning for it. They are managing the things. They are controlling the things, and they are going in a very fine and very smooth way on developing the project. So that is your how to define a process, and here you are the topic, the defined process completes. Up to this point, ninth, this diagram that you have to remember, the important person, sponsor, facilitator, definition team. Nine steps or nine phases we have discussed in how to define a process. If you are having any queries, if you want me to repeat any step from them, please message in the chat box. Okay. So, and in between this, I will request the CR to take the snap of the participants after 5 or 6 minutes. Okay.
Okay, ma'am.
Next, we have to start our next topic, or you can say it is the next level of the organization. If organization is has already crossed the level 3, the defined level, that means now the organization is, you can say, is medium level managed, and now they are on the track of becoming more managed. And this, if any term comes up in your exam like level 4 organizations or managed level organizations or managed process, all three terms relates to this level 4 uh, organizations, you can say, or maturity framework level. So what is this managed process, and in this one what happens, and when the organizations are reaching to this level, level number 4, which is uh, second last level, that means the organization has reached up to the point where the activities are happening in a very planned way, and they are being executed with the policies that are being defined by the organization. The organization is following the standards to develop the projects, and it is catching attention of the customers. They have the potential, they have that much of potential that customers are coming to them, the stakeholders are coming to them for the development of their projects and products, and the company is hiring The level 4 organizations, that means they are hiring people with more skill. They have all the resources available in a controlled manner. Things are going on. They know about the inputs and outputs. So if all these things are happening in a very good way, that means the organization is level 4 organization. In the same way, every process, every activity that is being involved in the development is also being reviewed step by step. So that is your managed process. If the objective question comes in exam that what is managed process, then in this way you have to mention what is managed process or level 4 organization. Next thing, some of the other points, these two topics of level 4 and level 5 will not take much time and we'll try to wind up today only both of them. So this managed process, what the process first line that you have gone through, what is managed process. Now some 3 4 more points I'm telling you that you have to remember. Like the process, when we are talking about any organization, any group, then the management of the process is concerned with the institution and the achievement of the objectives being established for the process, like your estimated within the estimated budget, within the estimated time, and by maintaining the quality, you can fulfill all your objectives. So these three things are very much important, like your time, the scope of the process, when it will start, when it will end, the budget, time, budget, and scope. You can say these becomes very important part, and utilizing which you are basically providing the customer or the stakeholder an efficient fully working failure free product. So this point you can mention in this particular topic. You can talk about the organization is providing, is completing their projects within the estimated budget, within the estimated time, and by maintaining the quality, and they are fulfilling their objectives. Also, along with the same, in this particular topic, you can talk about commitments that is given in this content also, that commitments that are being given to the stakeholders, that are being promised to the stakeholders, they are being fulfilled on time and the customer feels satisfactory at the end of the, when they get the deliverable and they are utilizing the things. Along with the same, it should also be checked that all the objectives are met or not, along with the vision and mission of the organization. So the requirements and objectives for the process are established by the organization. The status of the work, products, and services are visible to the management at defined points, at major milestones, on completion of the major tasks. Commitments are established among those who perform the work and the relevant stakeholders and are revised as necessary. So if some requirements are changing in between, the level 4 organizations also take care of that. And most of the times, if the this these kind of example, for this one, the example you can again consider for the Scrum methodology, Agile methodology, DevOps, where the continuous change in the requirements is being handled very properly. Testing is happening parallelly in a very consistent way, weekly or even on daily basis also. For some projects, it happens that every day the process is being checked up. What, who is doing what are their just coming day plan, and in how much time they are estimating that they will complete their task. So these kind of examples also you can utilize for effective product development. These kind of methodologies can be utilized by the organization. So that's it about your managed process that you have to remember. Some 2 3 points I told you which you have to remember. Next one is your, I'm moving to next slide, that is your managed. After managed is optimizing process. So this is also not very big topic. That means optimizing process means now organization has reached to the uppermost level. where very low risk is involved, quality is maintained in a very high manner, and along with providing and delivering products on time within estimated budget, the company is following up for the optimization. Optimization means improvements. What things can be improved and how they can maintain the relations with the stakeholder, with the customers, so that they will be their long time customers. How they, which are the factors utilizing which they can increase their productivity, which are the factors in the organization are already there which can become their strength, that this organization is good about this, so that becomes the strength of the organization. How to increase the reliability? Reliability means to provide a failure-free operation within the specified environment in the given point of time. That is called as reliability. You must have studied this term in your software engineering also. So the organization has reached up to the level when, along with the delivery of the products in a correct time, in a correct budget, with that, along with the same, they are focusing on these things also to increase their efficiency, their longevity, and these kind of organizations becomes your optimizing organizations optimization process, or level 5, the uppermost level organizations. Some of the points that you have to remember, um, to maintain those things or to improvise the process of the organization, you have to tackle something. So what are the objectives that you have to focus on when the organization is reaching up to level 5? These are to handle, the first one becomes to handle the modeling issue. So if some issues are coming up, then you have to keep some things in your mind, that what to look for in setting up an optimization problem. So, and what are the features which are of advantage and which are not of any advantage. So when the organization has launched any product in the market, so at that time what happens, they have to take the feedback, or automatically feedback comes to them, that whether it is good or not. Then also at that point of time, organization has to check which are the features which they have delivered to the customer, which features are important features which customer is focusing on, like related to, if some company is launching some new phone, then what are the things that you look for? The memory we see, the screen size we see, whether and the initial graphics also we see obviously, and but and the battery charging capability, how much long time it will take. So these becomes our one of the main concerns, and along with the same, the budget also. Okay, so what things that this customers are, uh, what things are catching attention of customers, which features are more that the company has to focus upon, and which features are not that much important, that they can avoid or that they can remove, and they start to focus on those features which can really increase their productivity, which can really increase their sale. So with the help of these modeling issues, they can find out these things, they can work on these things. So another thing that you have to remember under modeling issues, first one I told you that you have to find out those features which are of use or not of any use, and what settings they have to make to improvise the process to solve out those problems, and how the problems, the modeling problems that are coming up, they have to categorize. So what categories they can make, they have to identify. The organization have to identify that this problem is under this category, this problem is under this category. So these are some points that you have to remember in modeling issues. Second one is analysis of solutions. So whatever solution is being provided by the members of the organization or the people in the team for the problems that are coming up, those solutions, um, they have to think about those solutions, analyze those solutions. Why to analyze? To see that these solutions can be Is it like effective solution or not? First thing. Another thing, is it the only solution available for this problem, or any another way also we can solve the same problem? So how many solutions are present for some one problem that is arising up? So these kind of things you have to mention in this analysis of solutions, and also how much time it will take to implement that solution. So these two, three things that you have to mention, and these kind of questions you have to keep in your mind when you are analyzing the solutions. Last one is numerical methods. So if there are any computational techniques to improvise the process, then some computational methods are there, some algorithms are there, some formulas are there that are to be implemented, some matrices are there, measurement techniques are there. So we have to talk about those in this topic, numerical methods. So to improvise the process of the organization, to optimize it, if there are some technical advancement to be done on the basis of some computing methods, numerical methods, then that is to be taken care of, that is to be think of, and how it will improvise the complete process, that is to be documented, you can say, or to be noted down and to be worked on. These three things you have to remember, these 3 points you have to remember under this optimization process. I hope you understood these last two topics: managed process, optimization process.